Long before European explorers set foot on the shores of what is now the United States, the continent of North America was a tapestry of diverse cultures, societies, and civilizations. Indigenous peoples, often referred to as Native Americans, had developed complex societies with rich traditions, sophisticated governance, and extensive trade networks. This article delves into the multifaceted history of pre-colonial America, exploring the lives and legacies of its original inhabitants. The history of human habitation in North America begins over 15,000 years ago, during the last ice age. The prevailing theory is that the first peoples migrated from Siberia to Alaska via the Bering Land Bridge, a landmass that connected Asia and North America due to lower sea levels. These early inhabitants, known as Paleo-Indians, gradually spread across the continent, adapting to diverse environments from the Arctic tundra to the lush forests of the East Coast. The Paleo-Indian period, which lasted until around 8000 BCE, was characterized by a nomadic lifestyle. Early Americans were hunter-gatherers, relying on large game such as mammoths, mastodons, and bison for sustenance. They crafted finely made stone tools, including spear points like the Clovis point, which have been found at archaeological sites across North America. Around 8000 BCE, the climate began to warm, leading to significant environmental changes. The Archaic period, 8000 BC, 1000 BCE, saw Native American societies become more diverse and regionally distinct. As the megafauna of the Paleo-Indian period became extinct, communities adapted by hunting smaller game, fishing, and gathering a wider variety of plant foods. This period also witnessed the development of more advanced tools, including the otlotl, a spear-throwing device, and grinding stones for processing seeds and nuts. By around 1000 BCE, many Native American groups had begun to cultivate crops, marking the transition to the woodland period, 1000 BCE, 1000 CE. Agriculture allowed for more permanent settlements and the growth of complex societies. In the eastern part of North America, cultures like the Adena and Hopewell constructed large earthen mounds for ceremonial and burial purposes. These mound-building cultures are often collectively referred to as the Eastern Woodland Civilizations. The period from 500 CE to 1500 CE saw the emergence of several highly developed civilizations across North America, including the Mississippian culture in the southeast, the ancestral Puebloans in the southwest, and various powerful chiefdoms along the Pacific coast. The Mississippian culture, 800 CE to 1600 CE, was one of the most advanced pre-Columbian civilizations in North America. Centered in the Mississippi River Valley, this culture is known for its large, complex settlements and monumental earthworks. The most famous site is Cahokia, near present-day St. Louis, which was the largest city in North America north of Mexico. At its peak, Cahokia had a population of over 20,000 people and featured enormous platform mounds topped with temples, homes, and other structures. The Mississippians developed a stratified society with a powerful elite class. They practiced agriculture extensively, growing crops like maize, beans, and squash, which supported their large populations. Their trade networks extended across much of North America, facilitating the exchange of goods, ideas, and cultural practices. In the arid Southwest, the ancestral Puebloans, also known as the Anasazi, thrived from approximately 100 CE to 1600 CE. They are renowned for their impressive cliff dwellings and masonry buildings, such as those at Mesa Verde and Chaco Canyon. The ancestral Puebloans developed advanced agricultural techniques, including irrigation and dry farming, to sustain their communities in the harsh desert environment. Chaco Canyon, in particular, was a major center of ancestral Puebloan culture. It featured large multi-story buildings known as great houses, intricate road systems, and ceremonial kivas, subterranean chambers used for religious purposes. The ancestral Puebloans had a rich spiritual life, with religious practices closely tied to their agricultural calendar and the natural world. Along the Pacific coast, particularly in the Pacific Northwest, indigenous peoples developed rich and complex cultures based on the abundant natural resources of the region. Groups such as the Tlingit, Haida, and Coast Salish built large plank houses from cedar wood and crafted intricate totem poles that told stories of their clans and ancestors. These societies were heavily reliant on fishing, especially salmon, which was a central part of their diet and culture. They also engaged in extensive trade networks, both along the coast and with inland tribes. The potlatch, a ceremonial feast, was an important social institution where wealth was redistributed and social status reinforced through the giving of gifts. Beyond these major civilizations, a multitude of other indigenous cultures thrived across the continent, each adapted to their specific environments. The Great Plains were home to nomadic hunter-gatherer groups who relied heavily on the American bison. Tribes such as the Lakota, Cheyenne, and Comanche developed sophisticated methods of hunting and utilized every part of the buffalo for food, clothing, shelter, and tools. In the Northeast, the Iroquois Confederacy, Haudenosaunee, and Algonquian-speaking peoples established complex political and social structures. The Iroquois Confederacy, formed by 5, later 6, tribes, was a sophisticated political alliance that promoted peace and cooperation among its members. The Southeast was inhabited by the ancestors of the Cherokee, Creek, and Seminole, among others. These groups practiced agriculture, lived in permanent villages, and built mounds for religious and political purposes. In the Arctic and subarctic regions, the Inuit and other indigenous peoples adapted to some of the harshest conditions on Earth. They developed ingenious tools and methods for hunting marine mammals and built homes from ice and sod.